Hi, my dear students, welcome to our channel Science and Mathematics. I am Christopher. In this class, let us discuss 8th class physical science. In the previous class, we have discussed about force and types of forces. In that, frictional force also we have discussed in the earlier chapter. So in this chapter, let us learn in detail about this frictional force in this chapter. So first of all, force of friction and its types. Force of friction and its types. Activity 1. Identify forces acting on a body and effect of frictional force. Gently push a book on a horizontal floor as shown in the figure. So what do you observe? So let us observe what happens when you push a book on the table. What do you observe? You may observe that the book acquires a certain speed in the direction of push. So in which direction we are pushing, the book acquires a certain speed in that direction. So if you observe clearly, the speed of the book gradually decreases and after some time it stops. Why does the book stop after covering some distance? And the next question, is the book moving with uniform speed? We have to observe these things. And one more question, why does the speed of the book change gradually? Why does the speed of the book change gradually? And one more, how many forces act on the book when it is pushed on the floor? By careful observation, we can understand that the book is in non-uniform motion with respect to the floor. In the fourth chapter, we studied that non-uniform motion of a body takes place only when a net force acts on it. So then you will get another question. How many forces act on the book when it is pushed on the floor? Let us examine the forces acting on the book. So two forces act on the book in the vertical direction as shown in the figure. They are weight of the book denoted by W. This is also called gravitational force acting vertically downward direction. And the second one, normal force. Normal force denoted by capital N. This is also called reaction force applied by the floor vertically upward direction. So, as there is no change in the motion of the book along the vertical direction, the book is in the rest position. So we can understand that the net force acting on the book in the vertical direction is 0. That is, W minus N is equal to 0. That implies W is equal to N. In the horizontal direction, the speed of the book is changing continuously. Its speed is decreasing gradually in the horizontal direction. That is, the book has acceleration opposite to the direction of motion. So this is also we can call deceleration. Deceleration is nothing but speed decreases continuously. So now we have two questions. What are the forces acting on the book in the horizontal direction? What is the net force acting in the horizontal direction? By close observation, so we can understand that when the speed of the body moving in a straight line changes continuously, we say that the body has acquired an acceleration because the speed is changing. That is why we can say that body acquired an acceleration. So we can understand that the floor applies a force on the book against its motion. Similarly, the book also applies the same amount of force on the floor in the opposite direction. Here it is clear that the floor is at rest, hence the net force acts in the direction of force applied by the floor on the book. So we can understand that the net force in which direction? The direction of the force applied. The force applied by the floor on the book is called frictional force or friction. Lab activity. What is our aim for lab activity? Understanding the nature of friction and the concept of static friction. Nature of friction and the concept of static friction, let us understand by this lab activity. So for this we need some material. Material required: toy trolley, small wooden block, and inextensible string, and weight hanger, weights, pulley, and table. So these are the material required. Procedure: take a small toy trolley and keep a small wooden block on it as shown in the figure. Tie an inextensible string to the trolley and pass it over a pulley, and other end of the string is fixed to weight hanger. Take a small weight and keep it on the weight hanger and observe the changes in motion of block and trolley. Now we have questions. What happens to the position of the block kept on the trolley? So when trolley is moving, what happens to the position of the block kept on the trolley? Does it fall or move along with the trolley? What changes occur in the motion of the trolley and block? So if you notice, the trolley with the block on it moves towards left with an acceleration. The block is at rest with respect to the surface of the trolley, but it is in motion with respect to the surface of the table. So when you compare with the table and block, it is in the motion. When you compare with the trolley and block, it is in the rest position. Now keep on increasing the weight on the hanger. Observe the motion of the both trolley and block. The surface of the trolley tries to keep the block at rest here with respect to its surface. Thus, the force of friction by the surface of the trolley acts on the block in the direction of motion. At the same time, the block also applies a force on the trolley in opposite direction and tries to move towards the right. Observe the figure 5 carefully. So we can increase the trolley's acceleration by increasing the weight on the hanger. If we increase the acceleration of trolley gradually at certain limiting acceleration or limiting weight, the block comes into motion in the reverse direction. This means that now there exists a relative motion between the surface of the trolley and the block. What happens when the experiment is repeated by using rock and iron blocks of the same mass and different masses? Does the limiting weight change? If so, why? Apply some grease to the bottom of the wooden block and keep it on the trolley's surface and do the same experiment. What happens to the limiting weight? What should we do to increase the limiting weight? So by close observation we can understand that at a certain limiting force the block will fall down from the trolley. So if you do this same experiment by using rock and iron blocks, the limiting force will increase. And if you apply some grease, the limiting force will decrease. So that means we can increase or decrease the limiting force. By making the surface smooth, we can decrease the limiting force. By making the surface rough, we can increase the limiting force. So from the above activities, we may define friction as follows. The force which opposes the relative motion of two surfaces of bodies in contact is called frictional force. In the activity 1, the book moves with respect to the floor. So this friction is called sliding friction. What is sliding friction? Sliding friction is the friction which comes into play when the surface of one object moves relative to the surface of another object. This is sliding friction. In a lab activity, the block is at rest relative to the surface of the trolley up to a certain limiting acceleration. The friction exists at this stage is a static friction. So, static friction is the friction which comes into play when surfaces of the objects are at rest relative to each other. In the above activity, we observe that there exist two types of frictional forces at a time. One is sliding friction between surface of the table and trolley, and the other is the static friction that exists between the surface of the trolley and wooden block kept on it.